Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So we have finally come to the end of the Community Week's Heroes Path, and I have achieved my goal of doing as much Dungeon Divers credit as much as possible prior to the end of it. Here we got the last few hours, but yeah, we hit my target, arbitrary target of 12,500 points, which means that effectively we have 9 Sacreds worth of points to go in order to guarantee myself all 400 of the Titan event points, which was my going in plan. So the grand total that we need to achieve is around 53,000 points in order to do or to get both of the keys and get all 400 of the Titan event points. Personally, I don't care about the 5-star soul. I do think Mavara is a great champion. In fact, I tested her out yesterday in my Nightmare Hydra team, and she performed extremely well, and she has succeeded my Rector Drath, who formerly held that position as the anti-torment champion. And yeah, her A1 super strong, the fervor buff ally attacks, plus the 3-turn cooldown perfect veil, and the HP balance super strong, super happy, and yeah, she's doing work. But the main thing is she did all of that without the 5-star blessing. Her stats were fine, and you know, her purpose was served. So to me, the 5-star soul, it's just too much out of my way to go for it, and I just don't really need it for the areas where I intend to use her. So yeah, that is the going in plan for today's session. 9 Sacreds is going to be our target. So popping into the portal hill, let's take a look at the overall shard count, my account at the moment. We have 558 on the Ancients, 174 on the Voids, 26 on the Primal's, and 62 on the Sacreds, which of course we'll be dipping into today, pulling 9 of. There is a progressive chance event going on right now, and from the champions up for grabs here, for me, I have selected Helikath because he is one of the fusions from the past, one of the 2 fusions that I personally just messed up. And you know, I messed up some event and I didn't actually get him despite him being a previous fusion. I did everything for him. I had, I think, 15 out of 16 rares in the end, and I just couldn't fuse him because I didn't have all the champions. So sad times. So I'd like to make amends for that mistake, and hopefully we can get him today, but most likely it's not going to be the case because of course the progressive chance events with this, you know, even if we do get a legendary, which is most likely, we'll come back to that a bit later, but most likely we would get someone else. There's a 5%-ish chance they would be Helikath with the boosted rates, and a 95% chance that we get any other legendary in the pool, which is the more likely outcome. And then for the epic, I just picked Doom Priest. Currently, she's +3 on my account, so I'd like to round her out, get her to +4. And I already have a +4 Anax. And then I think my Husk is +2, but I don't use him as much. And so he would be filling in if we get a Doom Priest along the way. But there's a lot of epics in the pool as well, so the odds of getting the one that we want to get there is relatively low. So we might not even see her at all in the 9 Sacred, so we'll have to see. Now, where things get a little bit interesting is when we get to talking about Mercy. So I'll pop up my Mercy tracker on the screen here. The link to this will be in the description box down below if you'd like a copy of this for yourself. So I've teased for a while now, a couple of weeks or so, that I am in Sacred Mercy, and I was intending to hold off on this until a Sacred Pogo event, but I also said that I expected the next Sacred Pogo to be a while from now, just because we had one in January, one in February, so the odds of having another one 2 months later is relative. It's possible. It was possible, but it's relatively slim. And I could pull Voids. The Void progressive chances are very tempting. I'll come back to that a bit later as well. But it just makes more sense to not pull Voids at the moment, just because I don't have all that many. I know 134 seems like a lot, but just in case there is some random guaranteed event upon, you know, akin to the quality of a Narcisse, 110 for that one a couple of years back, I want to make sure that I have plenty of excess of 110, and then, you know, any amount that I need for 2x Voids during a fusion or anything like that going forward. So I don't want to go down to 0. That's kind of the goal. So the lesser of the 2 evils here is just popping Mercy in the Sacreds. Most likely within 9 we'll probably hit Mercy, but you never know. I guess we could get extremely unlucky and not hit Mercy, which would preserve us even more so into Mercy, or push us more so into Mercy relative to Sacred Pogo, which would make me want to hold off and pull the Sacreds even more. But we'll see what happens. But yeah, if I was going to go for Voids, Queen of Hearts is definitely up there as one of my most wanted Void legendaries. And then I've been on a mission to empower both of my Whispers to +4 in the long term. I have, I guess, well, I have 2 Whispers built. I use both of them here and there. But Whisper Prime is +2 and Whisper 2 is just baseline. So I need a lot of copies of Whisper in the long term. So very tempting with the odds here. But as you saw, we're not really close to Void Mercy. If we were, this would definitely be the better option for me. But since we're 150 plus shards away from Mercy on Voids, doesn't really make as much sense. Now, in terms of who I'd like to see pop out of the shard pools today, obviously I wouldn't mind getting Helikath. That's why I selected him from the champions being offered board. I didn't really have to make a choice, but if I had to make a choice, he'd be the one from the grouping. But overall, I actually redid my top 5 non-void legendaries wish list recently, just because on stream we were testing out Mavara, and you know, I had to think about it when I was like talking about what my top 5 used to be, and I was like, well, I don't know if that really applies anymore, because Mavara kind of came into the slot that a lot of, or at least my former number 1 would have held as kind of the perfect Veil Reviver healer champion for Hydra. And so, yeah, I had to rethink that a little bit. And so after some thought, I've revamped it. And now Martyr is the number 1 champion that I would like on my account for hard mode stage 10 consistency runs. So that'd be super fun. But yeah, top 5 are Martyr, Freya Freightweaver, Vesteel, however you say it, Riverthorn, kind of a new champion from the Sylvan Watchers, Glaykad, formerly number 1. He dropped all the way down to number 4, and then Duchess Alitu made a return to the list in number 5. But we're getting a bit ahead of ourselves, of course. The thing that we're going to see the most here, of course, is going to be epics. So any and all duplicate epics for empowerment will be useful as well. So without further ado, let's get into the shard pulls. 9 sacreds to go. We've got plenty of space. We've got plenty of cash. Let's see what we can get from today's summon. So once again, these are all hot summons. We are in Mercy, and there you go, straight in with the legendary. That is not a Hellcat. It is another Ishiyama the Immovable, a former fragment summon. Unfortunately for me, he is a triplicate, so he's a triple. He's the 3rd of a kind, so it's not helpful in terms of faction guardians, but I think he's okay. I basically only use him on my account. He is 6-starred, he's unbooked, but I use him in the Cursed City for HP based rooms. He is a decently hard-hitting nuker. Not as hard as some of the other, like the more meta HP-based nukers, like Predator, etc. But he does okay. This ability hits pretty hard, ignores a decent amount of defense. This ability is a good AoE. And the fear is not the best debuff. I call it a fake debuff a lot of the times because it never works when you use it against your enemies. But nonetheless, it can proc here and there. But yeah, definitely more of a Cursed City DPS. So I do make use of him there. So bit of a bummer. Not anyone that we're looking for, but unless we were in Mercy, the odds of us getting a legendary were pretty darn high. And now we should probably get a string of epic. So Crypt Witch, not much to say about her, unfortunately. 7 more sacreds to go. Another epic. And this is Armina, decent champion, kind of an upgrade to War Maiden, AoE decreased defense, but if you have War Maiden built like I do, you don't really have much of a purpose to build Armina, so I've never personally built her on my account. Sepulcher Sentinel, I've gotten a lot of copies of her recently, but kind of like an early game Demon Lord Clan Boss champion, 4-3 ratio, speed ratio in terms of the block debuffs, increased defense, and then her passive can kind of come in clutch, decrease attack on the A1. 5 sacreds to go, or 6? 5 or 6? I think we started off at 62. Crowd in the Blue, one of my favorites. Hard mode, Fire Knight, like God, basically, in terms of the freeze on the A1 triple hitter, AoE freeze double hitter here, and then the increased speed. Run him in Relentless, Molten Death Bell. In fact, I did a showcase, a free-to-play champion showcase on Crowd in the Blue. I'll link that in the upper right-hand corner if you want to check it out. But a super fun champion, basically perfectly tailor-made for hard mode Fire Knight. 4 more sacreds to go. Let's see what we can get. Probably 4 more epics. Let's see what we can get here. Hitatsu, okay, I've heard he's a decent kind of support, but I've never had the need to use him. But AoE decreased attack, granted 100% chance, increased defense, continuous heal, and a leech on the A1. Decent support champion. But yeah, let me know in the comment section down below if you're a Hitatsu fan and where you might make use of him. Deathless, very, very old school champion, kind of one of those more cheese comps where she can do a decent amount of damage if all of her allies are dead. You build her in like Stone Skin, unlock the skill, and try to nuke them, kind of like a half rack-ish cheese, but yeah, not really meta. More of a fun thing if you want to try it out for yourself. Maybe Mercurial as well in the more modern era. Bargon the Crowned, really awkward champion, just because he kind of, you can't guarantee the buffs because it depends on their stats or the kind of their attack bases or whatever. So it's meh. He's an okay champion, but not that great. Decent support, but yeah, you kind of want your buffs to be guaranteed, not subjective to the type of champion you're running alongside him. So Jarag, decent, another kind of a old school Demon Lord Clan Boss champion, 4-3 ratio once again, but decreased attack on the A1, ally protection, and increased defense, so decent for that. But also I think I used him in Iron Twins. So was that, I think I pulled one more than I wanted to. Whoops, that's fine. And oh, that's not fine. We got Missionary. Boo. That's fine. We wasted a sacred. Bad times. But yeah, so there we go. We should be done. I think we're now at this point we definitely overshot, but 50, yeah, oof, feels bad. Wasted a sacred. I think that's the first time I've ever done that. That's kind of sad. But there you go. Happens. We got a little click hungry there, but it's fine. Now we can work our way through the path. This one, thankfully, is pretty simple and straightforward. So we definitely want to go down the left-hand side, grab the key. Want to go down the right-hand side and grab that key as well. And then we'll come back towards the middle and then get all of the Titan event points, which was the goal. I don't think it really matters which of these I want more. So there we go, coming down, open this, grab this, open this, grab that. There we go. So slightly overshot, and I guess if we want to spend the extra bit, might as well go for the 3-star basalt. And then I guess we can get the charms and call it a day. There we go. That's complete. So yeah, there you go. 400 Titan event points locked in, so we don't have to worry about as much of the events. Like I talked about in my free-to-play review for this Hero's Path, I do intend to probably skip out of the 250, you know, some of the milestones in Dungeon Divers down the road. So up front, I just have the shards to do it. So it's just a little bit more enticing to focus on stuff that would have been more useful. Now, that is definitely a shame though, because, you know, preserving, you know, I had the right idea of kind of preserving with Mercy because it only took 1 sacred to get the legendary for the day. So if there was a sacred Pogo event, we would have gotten it in 1 shard, which would have been an excellent value relative to that event. But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So 400 extra points is a huge influx of points for me. I've basically collected every single Titan event point thus far. So we get a lovely gold chest, and then we break the game here with some lovely lag. And there we go. Finally sorted itself out. We get all of milestone 3. We're not going to collect the energy just yet. We're not going to collect the souls either, just in case there happens to be a soul chase. And we are well on our way towards milestone 4. Once again, I cover this in my free-to-play review, but my plan is to go all the way out and through milestone 5 because my Empress is bare naked, 0 stars. So the 5-star, going straight to the 5-star perfect soul is a huge boon for me. And then obviously I'm just going to sell the 1 and the 3 because you can't get duplicates of Empress because he's a unlockable champion, so to speak. All right, so there you have it. That's going to do it for today's shard summoning session. So we might as well put our 3rd Ishiyama in the wall of shame here. And I guess you can't. It doesn't really matter. One of the two. But yeah, 3 Mishinakis, 3 Ishiyamas. So whoever I get a 4th copy of will give us some extra accuracy and resistance for the Shadowkin. But for now, that's just going to be sitting there useless as the 3-star, or as the 3rd of a kind in terms of the legendary duplicates. But yeah, that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys got from your summons. Hopefully they're a little bit better than mine. Hopefully you got someone that you were looking for from your sacred shards or any other shard type that you were pulling this weekend. But yeah, let me know what you got in the comment section down below. As always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel. And feel free to hit the subscribe button down below as well, if and only if you're enjoying the content overall on this channel for more content just like this one in the future. Thanks for watching and have a good one.